I want to now talk about the current state of the San Francisco 49ers. I specifically want to dive into their quarterback situation. So, obviously, the San Francisco 49ers last year, in 2019, made a run to the Super Bowl. They got to the Super Bowl. They faced the Kansas City Chiefs. They had a big lead in the game. Not necessarily a big lead, but a 10-point lead. And the Kansas City Chiefs, they came back. They won the football game. The 49ers blew it. And they missed out on their Super Bowl opportunity. And this year in 2020, I thought the 49ers would be a playoff team. I was clearly wrong because they're not a playoff team right now. But I'm not too upset over the fact that I'm wrong just because the 49ers, they've had to deal with a ton of injuries all year. They've had injuries to their offensive line, their wide receiver core, their entire defensive line. You know, star player Nick Bosa has been out pretty much for the entire season. They just had to deal with a whole lot of injuries. Their quarterback, Jimmy Garoppolo, the best quarterback on their roster, the guy that led them to the Super Bowl last year as the starting quarterback, he has missed significant time due to injury. It's been a mess for the 49ers. I thought the 49ers, if they stayed healthy, they could be about a 10-win team this year. A little bit of a Super Bowl hangover, but they'd be a talented enough roster to get into the playoffs and make some noise potentially. If they got there, well, that's not the case. And I'm confident the 49ers can reload next year and make some noise in the playoffs. However, I have one big-time question. Are they good enough at the quarterback position? Because, folks, I'm not a big Jimmy Garoppolo fan. I'm just not. Is Jimmy Garoppolo a bum? Obviously not. Jimmy Garoppolo is a good starting quarterback. And he's proven he can get you to a Super Bowl. But my question is, can Jimmy Garoppolo elevate under pressure? And can he win the 49ers a Super Bowl? It's one thing to get there. It's a whole nother animal to be in the moment and actually elevate under pressure and win a Super Bowl. Okay? And I'm not sure if Jimmy Garoppolo can do it, man. Jimmy Garoppolo, to me, is nothing more than an average starting quarterback. Jimmy Garoppolo is not a franchise quarterback. He's a good starting quarterback, not a franchise quarterback. And I've said in the past, there's a difference between a franchise quarterback and a starting quarterback. Teddy Bridgewater is a starting quarterback. Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, they're your franchise quarterbacks. Even guys like, I don't know, Justin Herbert. Justin Herbert, to me, is pretty obvious to me. He's a franchise quarterback because his talent warrants being a franchise quarterback. Joe Burrow, same thing with him. Jimmy Garoppolo, not a franchise quarterback to me. And I kind of draw the line of who's a franchise quarterback or not after I get to the 16th to 18th best quarterback in football, because at some point you just have to draw a line and say, yeah, this is the benchmark for a franchise quarterback. Because I'm sorry, but it's very hard to win a Super Bowl with the 30th best quarterback in the NFL, you know. You could say, oh, Mitchell Trubisky's a franchise quarterback. Well, yes, he's leading a franchise, but do you want Mitchell Trubisky to be your long-term guy for the next 10 years where you're going to pay him a bunch of money? And are you confident every single year Mitchell Trubisky is going to put a great product on the field? That's kind of how I feel about a franchise quarterback. And I don't think Jimmy Garoppolo is one of those guys. Why do I say that? For one, he can't stay healthy. Jimmy Garoppolo, from the day he's gotten to the NFL as a starter, has had multiple injuries. You know, he's been banged up constantly. He's tough. He'll play through some injuries, but I'm sorry, but if you're not available to consistently play on the field Sunday after Sunday, if you're not durable, I have questions about you as an NFL quarterback, because I look at guys like even Aaron Rodgers, Deshaun Watson, Patrick Mahomes, Big Ben, Matthew Stafford. Those guys have been banged up in the past. You want to know why I consider them franchise quarterbacks? I consider them franchise quarterbacks because the talent is there. Their talent's off the charts. Big Ben, he throws one of the best footballs in the entire NFL. He's got a strong arm. Matthew Stafford, cannon for an arm. Patrick Mahomes, cannon for an arm. Deshaun Watson, super freaky athletic guy. He's pretty accurate too. Aaron Rodgers, he can do it all. I can deal with some injuries if your talent warrants me paying you $30 million. I don't care if Aaron Rodgers has a banged up shoulder every now and then. When that guy's on the field, I know I have a chance to win the Super Bowl. Same thing can be said for Big Ben. Same thing can be said for Patrick Mahomes, Deshaun Watson, and even a guy like Matthew Stafford. I think Matthew Stafford is criminally underrated. And I ask you all this question. What is so special about Jimmy Garoppolo? Because when I look at Jimmy Garoppolo, I don't see a guy that's as athletic as Kyler Murray, Russell Wilson, Deshaun Watson, Lamar Jackson. I don't see a guy that has as strong of an arm as Aaron Rodgers, Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, Matthew Stafford. I don't see a guy that's as big as a Ben Roethlisberger or a Justin Herbert where they can just shrug off defenders and evade pressure like that. I don't see that. I don't see a guy that's as precise and as smart and as surgical as Philip Rivers, Tom Brady, or Drew Brees. And to be quite frankly honest with you, I don't think Jimmy Garoppolo has even the charisma of a Baker Mayfield. Folks, I just named you 14 quarterbacks that have more special sauce than Jimmy Garoppolo. And I didn't even get to guys like Jared Goff and Matt Ryan who have been to Super Bowls. I didn't even get to Dak Prescott. I didn't even get to Derek Carr. I didn't even get to Joe Burrow. I didn't even get to Ryan Tannehill. I didn't even get to Carson Wentz, who's having a down year, but when Carson Wentz is on his A game, he's better than Jimmy Garoppolo. I'll tell you that much. Folks, Jimmy Garoppolo is nothing more than an average starting quarterback. And my fear is that if he's the guy going forward, I don't know if he's going to stay healthy. And to be quite frankly honest with you, in a division with Jared Goff, Kyler Murray, and Russell Wilson, the 49ers, they've got the fourth best signal caller. And I don't even think the 49ers are ever going to quite be as talented as they were when they got to the Super Bowl and lost to Kansas City. Jimmy Garoppolo literally had everything around him to succeed. He had an elite tight end in George Kittle who, when healthy, is really, really good. He had a great wide receiver core. He had a great offensive line, a great set of running backs, a really good defense. Kyle Shanahan calling the plays. And Jimmy Garoppolo was not good enough. He shrunk under pressure. And that's my fear for the 49ers. My fear is they're going to bring Jimmy Garoppolo back because they like the guy. They think he's the best option on the team. But in reality, they could use an upgrade. They could use a guy like Justin Fields or a Zach Wilson or a Trey Lance who has some upside. They could maybe use a guy like Matthew Stafford or Matt Ryan who's worked with Kyle Shanahan in the past and gotten to a Super Bowl and won league MVP. The 49ers could use an upgrade at quarterback eventually. I don't think Jimmy Garoppolo's a guy going forward. He's not a guy I would invest in. I think Jimmy Garoppolo's good. I think he's fine. But I think the 49ers have reached their ceiling with Jimmy Garoppolo. I understand it's only been 1 year in which he got to a Super Bowl. That was his first full season as a starter. But, we talked about Aaron Rodgers earlier in the show. Aaron Rodgers, it's been nearly a decade since he's gotten to a Super Bowl. People forget. It was a decade where Tom Brady did not win a Super Bowl. It's been over a decade since Drew Brees has won a Super Bowl. Dan Marino never won a Super Bowl. He's one of the 5 most talented quarterbacks of all time. So that's where I land on Jimmy Garoppolo and the San Francisco 49ers. I think Jimmy Garoppolo is nothing more than an average quarterback. And if I'm the 49ers, I would look to upgrade at the most important position for the future. Thank you so much for watching this video today. Please also note that the Juice Alert Sports Podcast is not just a YouTube channel. It is available on all podcasting platforms, including Spotify, Google Podcasts, iTunes, and Apple Podcasts. Also, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share this content with all your friends. This podcast is my favorite thing in the entire world right now. It is my passion. And I want more people to listen to this podcast. I really want this podcast to grow. Also, a fun fact about me is that I want to go into the sports broadcasting and media world once I graduate from the University of Toledo, a college in Northern Ohio. I am looking to become one of the next great sports broadcasters and analysts out in the world. And I potentially would like to start my own network if this podcast really truly grows. Or if I fall short of that goal, I would love to work for a big time network like ESPN or Fox Sports 1. I am open to all networks. So if you believe in my dreams and you see or hear my passion through the screen, be sure to tell all your friends about the Juice Alert Sports Podcast. Stay motivated, you guys. Have a God bless day, and I'm out.